Mistrial declared in early news as in Bill Cosby criminal trial as jury deadlocks, according to CNN here, and that's the accuser, uh, Constand, and so it says sponsors and businesses have cut ties with Cosby amid the allegations. Mistrial declared in Bill Cosby case. And reads, the judge in the Bill Cosby trial was declared a mistrial Saturday after the jury failed to reach a verdict in the case. The jurors, 5 women and 7 men, were unable to come to a unanimous decision in a court battle closely watched by the public as well as dozens of women who have accused Cosby of similar misconduct in the past. Cosby faced 3 charges of aggravated indecent assault. Here are the latest developments. Prosecutors announced they will retry the case. A spokeswoman for the comedian read a statement from his wife, Camille Cosby, who criticized prosecutors, the judge, and the media. Attorney Gloria Allred, who represents many of Cosby's accusers, said she hopes the court will allow other prior bad act witnesses to testify at the next trial. If the court allows more accusers to testify, it might make a difference. In other words, it's too early to celebrate Mr. Cosby. After 52 hours of deliberation, jurors in Bill Cosby's trial began their 6 days of deliberation Saturday morning. We've been at this for 10 days, including testimony. There's been nothing but a supreme effort on your part, Judge Stephen O'Neill told the jury on Friday. Go through your routines, which have probably become very habitualized at this point. As a 79-year-old comedian exited the courthouse Friday, he talked to the cameras and crowds outside. I just want to wish all the fathers a happy Father's Day, and I want to thank all of the jury for their long days, their honest work individually. He said, I also want to thank the supporters who've been here, and be pleased to the supporters. Stay calm. Do not argue with people. Just keep up the great support. Thank you all. Thank you. And so they said more questions, and all the jurors asked 12 questions of the court during deliberations, essentially asking to hear the evidence for a second time. The jury continued questions leaves open the possibility that jurors may remain deadlocked and unable to reach a unanimous verdict on any of the 3 counts of aggravated indecent assault that Cosby faces. One of the questions from Friday was, what is reasonable doubt? Wow. Prosecutors say Cosby drugged and sexually assaulted Andrea Constant, the former director of operations for Temple University's women's basketball team, at his home near Philadelphia in January 2004. Cosby pleaded not guilty to the charges. On Thursday, jurors told the court they could not come to a unanimous decision beyond a reasonable doubt, which is required in a criminal case. O'Neill asked the jury to go back into deliberations for another attempt to reach a verdict, an instruction known in Pennsylvania as the Spencer charge. It is a set of instructions that asks jurors to re-examine their own views and opinions, and there is no limit to how many times a judge can issue it. Wow. If after further deliberations jurors still cannot reach consensus, the judge can choose to declare a mistrial, which this judge did do. Defense attorneys have repeatedly asked for O'Neill to declare a mistrial based on the jury's length of deliberations, but the judge has denied their request. I'm going to allow this to go as long as the jury wishes to continue to deliberate, O'Neill said Friday. Today's Saturday. If there is a mistrial, Cosby would not be considered guilty or not guilty, and prosecutors may choose to retry the case with a different set of jurors. Still, that would represent a major win for Cosby's team, which has argued the case never should have reached court. The jury is made up of 4 white women, 6 white men, 1 black woman, and 1 black man. Interesting. They were bused to Norristown from Allegheny County near Pittsburgh and have been sequestered in a hotel for the trial. He said, she said. The three charges accused Cosby of assaulting Constand without her consent, assaulting her when she was unconscious, and assaulting her using drugs to impair her to consent. If found guilty, he could face up to 10 years in prison for each charge. Prosecutors called 12 witnesses, including Constand, 1 week of testimony, but presented almost no forensic evidence. Cosby declined to testify in his own defense, and his attorneys called only one witness. Cosby's attorneys argued the sexual contact was consensual and worked to highlight inconsistencies in Constand's testimony on cross-examination. The experts said the trial fits the he said, she said arguments that are common in sexual offense cases. And so we talked about that. And then Constand herself did not appear stressed in the courtroom as she waited for the jury. The former basketball player posted a video to Twitter of herself shooting hoops in a mini backboard to pass the time there. So dozens of women have accused Cosby of sexual misconduct. Only Constand's accusations led to criminal charges. One other accuser, Kelly Johnson, testified during the trial as prosecutors sought to establish that Cosby had a pattern of assault. Johnson testified that she was drugged and assaulted by Cosby in 1996. And they're your friends. So Constand testified only over 2 days last week. The prosecutor, in prosecution, in clear and firm statement, she said Cosby, a powerful Temple alumnus, mentored her, and took an interest in her career like a father figure. The comedian, 37 years her elder, twice made what she called suggestive passes at her, but she rebuffed him, she said. But when speaking about her career plans one night at his home, the sweater-wearing actor known as America's Dad gave her 3 blue pills that he said were herbal and would help her relax. Put them down, they're your friends. They'll take the edge off, Cosby told her. She testified, I said, I trust you. I took the pills and swallowed the pills down. She began slurring her words and felt dizzy and told Cosby so. She said shortly after she became incapacitated and felt frozen. She testified Cosby then placed her on the couch and sexually assaulted her without her consent. She woke up on the couch early in the morning with her clothes disheveled. She says, I felt really humiliated and I was really confused. She said through tears, I just wanted to go home. Cosby lowered and shook his head in the courtroom as she spoke. Gianna Constand, the accuser's fiercely protective mother, testified that Cosby apologized over the phone to her and her daughter and offered to pay her for schooling. Cosby also declined to tell her what pills he had given Andrea Constand, but he did say they were from a prescription bottle. He testified. I was mistaken. Defense attorneys argued that the sexual contact was part of a consenting relationship between Cosby and Constand. They cast Cosby as an unfaithful husband, but not a criminal. In a tense cross-examination, defense attorneys pointed out that several of Constand's initial statements to police, including the date of the alleged assault, were later proved to be false. I was really nervous and wasn't able to recall every particular moment I had seen Cosby in order of dates. In addition, Constand initially told police that she had not been alone with Cosby prior to the alleged assault and that they had little contact after. However, she testified that she had been alone in a hotel room with Cosby beforehand and that there were 72 to calls between the two afterward. She also asked Cosby's representatives for free tickets for her and her family to see Cosby's stand-up show in Toronto in August, half a year after the alleged assault. But she said the hotel room meeting was not romantic and explained that she made those phone calls as part of her job responsibility at Temple. She got the show tickets because her family loved Cosby and she hadn't told them about the alleged assault, she said. Defense attorneys said those were not the actions of a sexual assault victim and suggested she was lying. I was mistaken, she said. It was a lot of confusion, putting a lot of dates together. Jurors did hear Cosby's side of the story, but not in his voice. Prosecutors and police detectives read aloud portions of Cosby's statements to police in 2005 and in a civil deposition in 2006. In those interviews, Cosby admitted to sexual contact with Constant and said they had previously had a romantic encounter. He said the pills he gave her were over-the-counter Benadryl, which he admitted can cause sleepiness. In the civil deposition, Cosby admitted that he previously obtained the prescriptions for Quaaludes, a powerful sedative, with the intention of giving the drugs to women with whom he wanted to have sex. Prosecutors said his prior use of Quaaludes shows Cosby's had knowledge of what he was doing when he gave her pills. So that goes on. It goes on, but it's longer than the video limit. So there you go. But the bottom line, it's a mistrial.